So as Chelsea said, my name is Ira Horowitz, and I'm here to talk about Black Lab Friday, running an effective Giving Tuesday campaign that stands out. And we're going to go over a bunch of examples on this site, or on this webinar, that will help you take back some of these great tactics that other organizations have used to really benefit and engage your nonprofit around your audience around Giving Tuesday. Before we get into that, I will say a little bit about Cornershop Creative. We are a virtual online service agency that does provide amazing web design. We have some beautiful sites that we've designed. Expert WordPress development. We do kind of pride ourselves in really knowing WordPress incredibly well, especially real live applications for nonprofits and how it should be used most effectively, as well as supplementing that with really innovative online and fundraising strategy that we'll be letting you know today, and online marketing platform customization. So working within whatever tools you guys have, whether that's a Blackbud product or Salesforce or Salsa Labs, and customizing those platforms to really meet your needs and make sure that they're integrated with your website and also designed beautifully and not just using the default basics that are oftentimes not optimal. So please check out Cornershop Creative for more. We actually just recently redesigned our site, which is very exciting, and it looks great. There's some cool functionality in there, and you should definitely take it out to see some of our work and some of our products that we offer. So the plan for today is that we're going to, for those who don't know, we'll just mention briefly what is Giving Tuesday and go through some effective Giving Tuesday campaign examples, so real live examples that nonprofits have implemented over the last few years. And then go over some real specific points of what makes those effective, why are those good campaigns, and what can you learn from them. And then lastly, give you some resources that you can take back to your nonprofits and implement in your Giving Tuesday campaigns later this year or as you move forward. So first, as I said, what is Giving Tuesday? And for those who don't know, it is a movement to create an International Day of Giving that kind of coincides with the holiday season. So this was very much started in response to the commercialism of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And as they grew over the years, there was a growing need that there should also be a philanthropy component, that it shouldn't just be about going out and buying the cheapest computer that you can find. And so it takes place the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's been pretty consistently since it was founded in 2012 by the 92nd Street Y and the United Nations Foundation. And what's been so remarkable is it's grown to an estimated $168 million in 2016. So it's been hugely successful. You've gotten a lot of really amazing organizations that have been really embracing this campaign and raising lots of money, and the community in whole, the international community, is really responding well to this and stepping up on that day to make their donations. And as you can see, it's resulted in an estimated 1.56 million individual gifts and nearly 2.4 million social media engagements. So the entire world was kind of tweeting and sharing about this all on that one day, which is incredibly exciting and very nice to see the kind of the global philanthropy movement being brought into this way. But one of the things that's always kind of that's interesting is, as this Giving Tuesday has grown, it's become harder and harder for organizations to stand out. And so with all this noise, and little emoji guy covering his ears, how do you really stand out? How do you attract your audience, and how do you make sure that your emails are the ones that are going to be read, or your Facebook posts are the ones that are going to be seen? And for me, it's relatively simple, of just being creative, doing something that people are that is gonna catch their eye, doing something that is gonna be effective. And that was the approach we took with this Black Lab Friday campaign. It is a campaign developed by us and the Canine Companions for Independence. And what we did is we encouraged donations over a 5-day period from Black Friday through Giving Tuesday. So instead of just asking on that one day, we expanded this campaign and made sure that it was accessible from through this whole giving season period. And what was really great, and I think what was so successful and eye-catching about this campaign, is that it kept the campaign fun and upbeat, but it was still mission-focused. And so down there in red, you can see that was the main tagline that was used throughout the campaign, is to choose Black Labs over sales tags. So it rhymes, which is fun, and it's clever and really engaging, and got a lot of people involved. And the results really tell the whole story, that they saw an increase of 103% in the number of donations, 123% in the amount of donations raised. So more than double their efforts from any other time that they've started asking, as well as a 10%, nearly 10% increase in that average gift. So you can see that they just raised a considerable amount. And this was the highest totals in both amount raised, number of gifts, open rates, and average gift for their campaign. So this was truly remarkable and had really successful results throughout the whole thing. And so why is this successful? So first and foremost is that we asked early. The one thing about Giving Tuesday that's kind of always frustrated me is that it occurs after Black Friday and after Cyber Monday. So people have already purchased their big purchases and their big gifts for the year, and then we're kind of getting what's left over. And so I think asking early and making sure people do set aside those funds and do know about Giving Tuesday is incredibly important, and I think has been the most successful thing that you'll see through many of the campaigns that we're going to go over in the next few minutes about why Giving Tuesday has grown, is because people are asking earlier and getting out in front of these other commercial holidays, I guess, and really benefiting from that. They also used a match gift. So for those who aren't familiar, I'm sure you've used it or seen it, where you get an email and the individuals can basically will double it, where you have a corporate or major donor who's going to double someone's donation. So a $25 donation becomes $50. And that's usually really successful campaign marketing material when you're trying to fundraise, because it gets out there and it's showing people that their donations will go actually twice as far, or sometimes 3 times as far, when you have that matching donor. We used really unique design and branding for each one of these. We really we created special donation forms, email templates, and just made sure that the whole everything they were doing across multiple channels were branded in the same way, so that people would know this was all part of one big campaign to kind of support Black Labs. And here's a couple quick examples of one of their donation form that I just find to be quite beautiful and very easy to use, and very effective for their supporters. They've seen much higher conversion rates once they started using this donation form. It is built on the Luminate Online platform through Blackbaud. And similarly, just a nicely designed, clean, well-organized email template as well. So carrying that branding through, and just a simple, straightforward, beautiful image up at the top email template to make sure that people had that consistent branding across the channels. Another campaign I want to mention is through the folks at Our Bodies Ourselves. And in addition to soliciting donations on Giving Tuesday, they also try to utilize Giving Tuesday to generate some buzz for the Write the Next Chapter campaign. And as part of this campaign, they asked supporters to upload photos of themselves supporting the campaign and showing what's the next chapter. And lots of photos were shared on social media, which really amplified this campaign. And what makes this so successful is just they were very effective at integrating Giving Tuesday with a campaign that they were already running or wanted to run due to the political climate that was going on. And so it was a very important and effective measuring, that they didn't just say, oh, it's Giving Tuesday, give us your money. They tied it into a specific campaign that they already had going on, and a specific mission that people were connected to. And it generated a lot of buzz. And as you can see here, they kind of had this nice photo wall where people had uploaded these beautiful photos of themselves with that hashtag of Write the Next Chapter. So it generated a lot of buzz across social media, across their campaign, and was very effective in amplifying what they were doing. Another great example is from the Alameda County Community Food Bank in Oakland, California. And they did a variety of tactics around Giving Tuesday to make sure that they had a very effective campaign. And similar to what we talked about with Canine Companions, they also changed their website header and homepage. They added a pop-up light box encouraging people to give for Giving Tuesday. And they also published several blog posts about Giving Tuesday for easier sharing, which is something that's very important, and you need to remember to do, is rather than just sending out an email, making sure people have a concrete page that can be shared more easily. So in this case, it was a blog post. Some people create landing pages, but making sure you have something that your supporters can easily share and get the information out there that you want them to share. They also had a corporate match gift on the first $20,000 raised, and they sent their first email actually the Monday of Thanksgiving week. So even earlier than Black Friday, they were starting it a few days earlier from that to get people prepared for the season, and again, getting them in the mind frame that this Giving Tuesday campaign is coming up. They created, Giving Tuesday branded donation pages. They asked their supporters to take UN selfies and share them, it's very similar to what Our Bodies Ourselves did. And they also had Giving Tuesday branded retargeting ads that they ran throughout this period. And it ended up being hugely successful. We kind of talked about their goal there of up to 20,000. They ended up raising more than $100,000 in this campaign. And what they really promoted afterwards is, rather than saying like we raised 100,000, is they really emphasized what that actually is doing for their people they were trying to serve. So they really emphasized that this raised the equivalent of 300,000 meals and provided more than 800 families with a month's worth of food just in a few days period. So it's truly astounding, that type of results. And when you get to share those results with your supporters, it just creates more engagement and is very effective. The image over here is kind of just some of that marketing that they do. And similarly there, they have that at the bottom, that today will turn every $1 of your gift into not $6, but $12 worth of food. So they took a different approach. Oftentimes you'll see this when you send out fundraisers, that every dollar becomes $2. Here they took the every dollar becomes what is actually it's going to go to, which is $12 worth of food. So really inspiring message that I imagine encouraged a lot of folks to give, resulting in these really high success rates. One of my more, I guess, favorite or conflicted campaigns, so I'll admit that I am from Cleveland and unfortunately a Cleveland Browns fan, but in 2015, there was a challenge between the Free Library in Baltimore versus the Cleveland Public Library. There you go Cavs to Jessica. So the Cleveland Public Library. And what they did is a very effective campaign where they used the Monday Night Football game that was going on between the Browns and the Ravens, which happened the day before Giving Tuesday, so that Monday night. And they started a fundraising challenge that the two cities would kind of compete, and whoever raised more money would win. And it started right at the kickoff of the Monday Night Football game and went through Giving Tuesday. And it was a really effective campaign because it was innovative. It stood out. It was around a specific event, not just Giving Tuesday, kind of, again, tying in what was going on in the world with this Giving Tuesday idea. And they also held watch parties to really engage the volunteers and supporters and help even raise more funds. And those watch parties are just a great idea, especially like an organization like a library who does rely heavily on volunteers. It's really effective to make sure you're thanking them and that you're doing things for them. So this was a great opportunity for that. Unfortunately, the folks in Baltimore did win, which is, I guess, okay. They raised a lot of money, which is great. And the losing Cleveland Library director actually had to perform Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, because of the Ravens, which was shared quite widely on social media, as well as the regular media got into this as well. And together, just the libraries raised a ton of funds for their organizations and really garnered significant social media followings and created a lot of buzz, both for Giving Tuesday and for their efforts that they were trying to do at the two libraries. So all in all, a fantastic and very effective campaign, and a great way to kind of tie in what's going on in the sports world with what's going on in Giving Tuesday. Another great campaign was the Family Dinner Project. And this was a longer campaign, but also coincided with Giving Tuesday, is from November 25th through December 15th. They encourage people to visit the familydinnerproject.org, which I'd encourage you to go to as well. And they downloaded the Giving Tuesday Dinner Tonight card. And they also encourage visitors to share that Family Dinner Project on Facebook and Twitter. And if they use the hashtag every time that the card was downloaded or it was shared or they used the hashtag, their corporate sponsor, Boston Market, was donating to support military families. So what I really liked about this campaign is they really had a low bar of entry. It was just going to a website and downloading something, not very difficult, or using a hashtag. Something that's not very difficult, anybody can do. It takes no actual money investment, but they did get a donor to kind of cover those costs and help raise them more money. So another great kind of thinking outside the box and figuring out a way to really support your mission and get information out there while still and making it a very easy ask and raising that money. My favorite thing here about this one is they have a whole bunch of resources, including, that's supposed to say lots, not lost, of activities, recipes, and games over at the familydinnerproject.org slash GivingTuesday. It's a really great website that's still up there, and there's some really great resources. My favorite thing was this giving pledge that they asked people to do, and it was done in very much a Mad Lib style, so that you can kind of type in on the screen in those fields there and put it in there, and hopefully, unlike Mad Libs, you actually give real answers. But I think it's just a fun and clever and interactive way that you can engage people rather than your just standard pledge that you say, like, I support Giving Tuesday. You know, it just becomes way more accessible and very easy to use. And the last example I wanted to give here is from the Halo Foundation, which asks people to donate either their daily cup of coffee or $5 on Giving Tuesday to really empower youth in their youth homes around the world. And one very clever aspect of this campaign is that they actually created coffee mugs that on the bottom, the inside, usually your logo's on the outside, but on the inside of the mug, they actually created the Giving Tuesday heart logo. And they put that there, which was a very kind of effective way to just remind people of, you know, again, how little effort you need to really make a substantial difference, and how much you can actually make a difference and start donating on for a campaign like this. So it was very effective. They sold lots of mugs, and they did a really great job. And just kind of, again, having that low bar of entry for people, just a $5 donation one day a year, not very hard. So the next thing here is I wanted to just go over some of those key elements that what made these campaigns successful. And as I started with, I think the most important thing is to be creative. So create a campaign that is going to be meaningful to your supporters is number one. So don't just do something that, you know, don't just do something because you feel you have to do it. Like, find something that's going to connect to your supporters. Don't be afraid to use humor or competition. We've seen that very successful across many organizations. And don't just and provide more than just a traditional donations kind of when you're asking people. And, you know, don't just send them to your general donation form. Create something unique. And one effective tactic that I really like using is to use a shopping cart, so an online shopping cart instead of your standard donation form. And what I really like about that is, first of all, it stands out, it's something different, but it really goes along with that Black Friday and Cyber Monday theme. So you can kind of still, you know, sell, you know, virtual products, like an hour of one of your, you know, staff members' time or something like that, you know, people can buy, or you know, sending out a number of emails, or, you know, various things that based on what your organization does, you can kind of tie back and put it, you know, a friendly way in a shopping cart form. So I have found that to be very successful and could be a really creative and effective use of Giving Tuesday. This is pretty general, and most people know this, but make sure you brand your campaign. Giving Tuesday, especially as it's been growing in notoriety, people feel connected to it when there's lots of people working across, doing the same thing across multiple issues and across multiple organizations. So the movement of Giving Tuesday has just grown so much that you're kind of seeing that logo everywhere, and people put their own different spins on it, but just a few examples here of ways that you can incorporate that Giving Tuesday hashtag and logo into what you're doing. So either just kind of spelling out the full hashtag, or as in this case, kind of doing an example of the donation button in that sense. And as I said previously, make sure you ask well before Giving Tuesday. Shoppers spent more than $30 billion during Black Friday last year, and an additional $3.4 billion on Cyber Monday. And you know, you don't want people to spend that nearly $35 billion and then as I said, get to Giving Tuesday and be like, oops, I don't have any money left, so I'm going to crack that piggy bank and just give you a few you know, a few dimes or whatever's left in there. So making sure that you ask early and that you're getting in there. As I mentioned, so Black Lab Friday did start on Friday. The idea kind of came from that despite Cyber Monday being very popular and very effective, in previous years, there's actually still been more online sales on Black Friday than there is on Cyber Monday. So asking early is very important. People still think of Black Friday as the day to spend money, even if those Cyber Monday deals are coming a few days later. So making sure that you're kind of generating that buzz around the Black Friday day is really important, and making sure that we can kind of hopefully get the philanthropy numbers up to these kind of numbers and kind of reverse that for the future. Another thing, kind of playing with the holiday season, gift donations or e-cards are very effective. People, you know, urging people to make their donation, and you either send a physical card or an e-card that will let people know that you donated in honor or memory of somebody, and that can be really effective tactic around the holiday season, and kind of can be in lieu of some of those traditional gifts that they normally would buy on Black Friday. This would kind of supplement against that and maybe get that out in front and early, so that they, instead of buying those gifts, they actually donate to you instead. And making it personal is something that I think is really really key to every campaign. I did see a lot of asks last year of people saying, like, it's Giving Tuesday, donate. And you know, that doesn't mean anything to me. And so what's really important is tying Giving Tuesday to your mission, making sure that when you're communicating to your supporters what you want them to hear, make sure that you're making it personal. And so I gave a few examples here of some emails I got last year. So the ARC of Westchester wrote, there would be no greater gift this season than to support individuals of all ages with autism and other developmental disabilities. And then they added on Giving Tuesday. So it very connected and personal plea that they ask people, and then tying it to Giving Tuesday as the actual appeal. And a couple others here, I'm not going to read them word for word, but for the Conservation International, they actually started. So for so many of us, our support for conserving nature is personal. And they kind of go into what that looks like, and then they kind of talk about Giving Tuesday and how people can get involved. So very effective way of just, again, for showing people how personal the issues and how much their donation will actually impact them and the organization. So in another example from the Children's NIH, same thing, that, you know, they emphasize, they didn't even mention Giving Tuesday, but, you know, they want, at least in this paragraph, they want kids to be kids. They want them to laugh, to think for themselves, to play, and to just be kids. So very effective messaging that's really, really great there. Mobile giving is really something I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it, of an everyday practice. However, I think that Giving Tuesday lends a special kind of day feel, that people are being around it. There's the urgency that it kind of happens on the one day. And with text receiving about a 98% open rate, I think Giving Tuesday is an excellent opportunity to really start promoting mobile giving. And so before you obviously invest in any texting service, I think the first thing that needs to happen is making sure that everything you do is mobile responsive, which means that it's going to look good on mobile devices, like you can see here. That you know, when you're sending out emails and creating donation forms, that make sure that they look great on all mobile devices. When you're posting images to Facebook, you know, you can read the Giving Tuesday logo, but below that, that starts getting pretty small on a mobile device. So you want to make sure that even the text you're using on images is going to be effective for people, so that they can read everything that you're posting out there. And you know, there are plenty of studies that have given presentations just on the responsive design elements. But one quick stat is that responsive design doubles giving on mobile devices. And these days, Facebook, I believe it's something like 70-some%. Same thing with Twitter. Of people are actually looking at Facebook mostly on their mobile devices, and email is about 51% of people are looking at email on mobile devices. So that's where people are, and that's what they're looking for. So make sure you do develop all that. If you can add in a text component, I think it just adds to the urgency of the day, and you can urge your supporters to donate. A really great, effective tactic. And lastly, I guess two lastlies, is to make it easy, I think is really important. So donating shouldn't be hard. You should keep your forms simple, straightforward. People get very easily distracted, and if you have a really long, complicated form, they may go walk away and do something else, or close their browser, or get distracted by Facebook. So you want to really keep your forms as simple as possible. Two really great tools that are out there is PayPal. Everybody's very familiar with it. You can donate through PayPal, and you just get a little script and you can donate directly through there. And it's pretty straightforward because you essentially select your amount, you log into PayPal, and you confirm it. And Amazon offers the same exact service, and might actually even be more effective around Giving Tuesday because of the nature of shopping. People are probably already buying quite a bit of stuff on Amazon. If you have an Amazon button on there, they can essentially just add it to their shopping cart, or they add a product. When I just donated an organization through this Amazon button, I literally entered my amount, I logged into Amazon, and then I confirmed my donation. It took all of maybe like 6 seconds. It was very effective and very, very wonderful. And this is the last one, to not forget the basics. So there are very important fundraising activities that still need to happen throughout this. Setting a goal is very key to making sure that you have an effective campaign. Obtain a matching gift, as we've seen from some of these examples. Promote extensively on social media is really great. Add a unique lightbox pop-up to your website to display either on your homepage, or what I prefer is other pages of your site, because a lot of times people will be coming to your site through a blog post or through other aspects that you're sharing or promoting out there. So make sure that it is integrated throughout your whole site and not just on the homepage, where you know, you may not be getting the necessary traffic there. And also send press releases. Utilize, especially if you're doing a clever campaign or something that involves your community, your local community, news outlets will love to promote that. So contact your local TV stations, contact your local newspapers, and really have them help promote Giving Tuesday and this campaign, the campaign that you're running. And make sure you train your volunteers. So, you know, it's great that you can, you know, for when you'd ask for money, but it's always better when your supporters ask for money, when people who are connected to the issue and who are passionate about the issue and want to get involved. Those are the people who are going to be your best salespeople, and really getting the word out about what Giving Tuesday is and about what your campaign and your organization can accomplish. So a few resources before we conclude here and open it up to questions. But first, there is a website, GivingTuesday.org, which is a wonderful website. It's got lots of case studies, ideas, blog posts, even some template emails for you, and press releases and other toolkits that can be really effective. Many of the examples I've gone over today came directly from GivingTuesday.org, so definitely check that out. It's a great website and great place to look. I would also encourage you to connect with your online marketing platform. So if you have a fundraising platform like Network for Good, Blackbud, Salsa Labs, Classy are the four that I put here. But just about every single nonprofit fundraising platform has resources for Giving Tuesday. Some of them are specific for specific years. So check out the resources that they have, because oftentimes they will give you tools and resources that will make your campaigns more effective. A few resources that we've developed here at Cornershop. So if any of you are working within the Salsa Labs platform, here's a great some great tools that we've developed. So first is this mobilizer. So in the Salsa Classic platform, you basically take those few lines of code, toss it into your web template, and and you get a beautifully mobile responsive form. It's really effective. It kind of takes even a multi-column approach and shrinks it down to fit everything on the screen. This is a super basic version that we just did for a demo purpose, but it basically just kind of takes everything and makes sure that it looks great and functions well on mobile devices. People won't have to do that pinching and zooming, which is pretty annoying on mobile devices. Another great campaign we also developed for Salsa Labs, but is available to anybody, is an email template builder. And what's again great about this is it gives the built-in code to make things mobile responsive. So it'll look great across multiple devices. You basically just plug in what fonts and colors and links and logo that you want, and then it's gives you this code that you can put into Salsa Labs or any other platform actually, because there's really not too much Salsa specific coding in there. And you get a great template. So here's a very basic one we did for League of Women Voters, and you can kind of see how it looks on the desktop versus how it looks on mobile devices. But it can also get more complicated. There's an e-newsletter template in there, and then you can customize the HTML once you're in there. So here's a great example from our friends at California Fire Foundation that we worked with to create even a more complex one starting from our default code there. And lastly, as I mentioned before, beautifully designed donation forms are very effective in getting people to actually donate. And you don't want to just make your forms responsive, you want to make them effective. And we've seen the results that if you have better design or use of imagery, that it increases your conversion rates by nearly 7%. So people are 7% more likely to complete that donation as opposed to doing it. We've also seen studies out there that say that sequential donation forms increase your conversion rate by at least 5%. So if you design it, if you break it up into steps, the thinking is that people aren't going to get as easily distracted. And our tool is very available, very easy to use, and it's something that we build for you. Is essentially you just pick one of the two templates that we have, and then you provide us with your variables, so like a logo file, background image, button styles, and ta-da, my nice little image here. You get a beautifully designed donation form, and this is one we just quickly put together by tossing in a couple images and changing some colors. But you can see that this is just very clean, effective. This tool is available for both Salsa Labs and Luminate Online, though we're expanding to include other platforms out there. So if you're part of one of those platforms or others, then certainly feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to talk with you about some of those options. But as you can see, it's just a very straightforward, clean, organized, easy to use form that will make donating very easy for all of your supporters. Here's a live example that we did for the Lown Institute. So very clean, nicely designed form that's become very effective for them. And another great example from Environmental America that we also did, so kind of breaking it up into the two columns all on one page, but still a great form. And lastly, I want to mention our Gravity Forms plugin. And we've developed for both Salsa Labs, Luminate Online, and Engaging Networks. We developed some great tools that let you basically create forms on your WordPress website and automatically send data into your CRM, into one of those three systems. And we're, again, working on expanding to other platforms, but what's really effective and great about that is it can integrate your donation or even just some of your email signups, your petitions, your forms. It can integrate that process on your website, so directly on your website, as opposed to people having to go somewhere else or off-site and kind of switching and creating templates. It integrates it with the full process. So rather than having this is a great example here by Save the Children Action Network, that rather than having people have a button to click and go off to a different page and site to fill out a form, they embedded the forms directly on the event information itself and let people kind of fill out directly there. And they've seen a huge increase in their conversion since they started doing this, and just a very effective tactic for getting people to sign up. Again, this one's event specific, but here's a great example from Human Rights Campaign. It's not using our plugin. However, they did embed their donation form directly in that pop-up. So, right when you go to their homepage, it's actually happening right now. So took the live one, but a great tactic for Giving Tuesday is rather than making people click and go somewhere else, just put the form right in front of them, and you'll see that people are very excited and eager to give when they're just put that form right in front of them. So to summarize some of the key points that I mentioned today is, so first of all is to keep it simple, be fun, creative, and engaging. Make sure that your campaign is personal. So don't just ask for the sake of asking, but make sure you're connecting to your supporters and to what your mission, your organization is. And most importantly, ask before, during, and after Giving Tuesday. While it's a great day of international giving, there's some excellent tactics to make sure that you're getting out there in front of your supporters before they start spending all their money, as well as afterwards as it becomes end of year giving time. So make sure you're just kind of consistently asking around this holiday time. And also check out cornershopcreative.com/products for some great resources and some of the tools that I've already mentioned. So if you're interested in any of those things, you can just reach out directly there. So that's our presentation. I thank you all for listening today, and certainly we'll open it up if there's any questions. And Chelsea, you want to take it away? There you go.
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to say, you have to unmute me, apparently. So we don't have any questions on the list right now. Like I mentioned earlier, if you do want to chat any questions or use the Q&A panel, there's some buttons towards the bottom of the Zoom interface here. And I have been tweeting links out through our @Cornershop channel. So if you want to check there for some of the resources that Ira mentioned, also we'll be following up with some emails, and we are actively recording this, so we'll share that recording later as well. So I'll pause just a moment, see if there's any questions or comments. Hey, I can sing again. Yay, I think we are all set. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this Friday afternoon diversion. So listen, the Ira talk isn't the worst, right? So
excellent. All right, well, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, feel free to either email us or tweet at us, fill out the form on our website. Always lots of ways to get in touch with us. Thank you all for listening, and have a great Friday and weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye.